Spooktober is not here yet, so in the meantime, I'm going to review this. Hi everybody, Anthony from Awesome Anthony Productions, and today I'm going to give you my review of the third movie in Kenneth Branagh's Hercule Poirot trilogy based on Agatha Christie's detective novels, A Haunting in Venice. But before we get started, you know exactly what to do. Please leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you never miss any of my new reviews. Usually get out at least one a week. Now let's get into it. Now, the first movie in this trilogy, Murder on the Orient Express, took place outside of London. The second one, Death on the Nile, took place... Where did that one take place again? Based on the Agatha Christie novel Halloween Party, this movie takes place, obviously by the title, in Venice, which from the very beginning gives you something to latch onto. The beautiful cinematography on display here, especially in the opening scenes when we're treated to some really beautiful shots of the different streets and canals throughout Venice. But when we meet up with Kenneth Branagh's Hercule Poirot, post-World War II, he's actually retired from casework at this point, protected by a bodyguard and former cop, Riccardo Scarmaccio's Vitali. Poirot is living out his days reading, gardening, and enjoying his never-ending supply of pastries, just enjoying his life in peace as half the town waits outside his door every single day begging to get him to take a case.
End of the line!
But on Halloween, an old friend of Poirot's comes to visit, Ariadne Oliver, played by Tina Fey, a mystery novel writer who brings him an invitation. An invitation to the supposedly haunted estate of Rowena Drake, played by Kelly Riley, a former opera singer who lost her daughter, Alicia, a year before the events of this film.
Well, that sucks.
And now wants to perform a seance on Halloween night to be able to speak to her again. For this, she calls in Michelle Yeoh's Joyce Reynolds, a world-famous medium.
I give all I have to hear my daughter's voice.
If someone wants to be heard, we are here.
Along with her two assistants that happen to be siblings, Emma Laird's Desdemona and Ali Khan's Nicholas. They're also joined by Alicia's ex Maxime, played by Kyle Allen, Rowena's housekeeper Olga, played by Camille Cotton, the PTSD-ridden Dr. Ferrier, played by Jamie Dornan, and Dr. Ferrier's pretty genius son Leopold, played by Jude Hill. But when one of the guests of this seance is murdered, Poirot is thrown out of retirement to solve the murder, and maybe put his skepticism aside and find out whether or not this place is actually haunted. Right off the bat, let me just say that if you're someone that needs constant action, jokes, or jump scares to get through a mystery thriller like this,
my attention span is very short.
This is not going to be your movie. But if you're someone who appreciates a slow burn mystery with strong dialogue and characterization, along with a movie that takes its time laying out all the pieces of the mystery to where they're in front of your face, but you have to do a little bit of work to piece it all together before the final reveal, this is definitely going to be right up your alley. Now, I've seen a lot of people who enjoyed the first two movies get turned off by this and say they're not going to see it because the trailer made this look like a straight up horror movie.
Nope.
Sure, there's a handful of jump scares here and there, and the tone does stay pretty eerie throughout, but there's really nothing overtly scary and disturbing here, and if you enjoyed the last two, I definitely wouldn't use that as an excuse to skip this one. Because if you do skip this one, you're going to miss the best thing that these movies have going for them.
You're lost!
The strength of their cast, and their mystery. Regardless of your opinion on the last two films, it's hard to deny that Kenneth Branagh has really made the character of Hercule Poirot his own, playing him with stoic determination when he's in detective mode, a playful sense of fun and whimsy when his guard is down around an old friend, and a commanding presence that can take control of any room no matter what the stakes are.
You can't trap us here.
Somebody is dead. No one shall leave this place until I know who did it.
He's no different here, and watching him slowly piece together all the details of this case, while having the realization that there really might be life after death, is very satisfying to witness.
Go surreal! Go surreal!
Along with the fact that he has incredibly strong chemistry with every member of the cast. He also nailed that balance once again of navigating being the lead of a film like this while also being the director, and neither aspect of the film suffers because of it. And with the added horror thriller genre elements thrown in here, Kenneth Branagh even gets to play around with his directing style a bit. The rest of the cast is great here as well, including Tina Fey, Jamie Dornan, Camille Cotton, and Jude Hill. But the real standouts come from a few different characters, like Kelly Riley's grief-stricken, desperate performance as Rowena, Michelle Yeoh's cocky yet spiritual and cryptic Joyce, and Kyle Allen's aggressive yet still full of heart Maxime. These three pivotal characters, combined with the strong presence and performances from the rest of the cast, really sell the mystery and thriller aspects here, going a long way in keeping you invested until the very end, throughout all the twists, turns, and reveals in the script.
Plot twist.
If I had a couple of small complaints, however, it would be that, number one, at a certain point in the middle of the interrogations, just like I did with Death on the Nile, I started to feel the runtime a little bit, even though this is under 2 hours. The interrogation scenes are obviously a very important part of the story, but after the third or fourth, I was starting to feel a little tiny bit bored and was kind of hoping they would break up the monotony a little bit, which they did, thankfully, so this complaint wasn't really in my head very long.
Why even bring that up?
Also, thankfully, the performances in the script are top-notch, so these interrogation scenes are very very intriguing and exciting, even when they start to drag a little bit. And number 2, there are certain aspects of the script that definitely could have been tightened up. No spoilers, but by the end, when everything is getting wrapped up and we're revealing every single detail about this mystery, most of it is done so neatly and tightly that there's a couple parts of it that aren't, and they stick out like a sore thumb. I'm not going to go into spoilers, so I can't really explain it, but with a couple more pass-throughs, this definitely could have been improved within the script. But besides that, this is a very strong murder mystery to add to Kenneth Branagh's Hercule Poirot lineup, complete with a great script, fantastic performances from everyone involved, stellar cinematography, and the welcome addition of some new horror thriller elements that help keep it fresh and exciting. And that's my review of A Haunting in Venice. If you like this video, you know exactly what to do. Please leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss any of my new reviews. You can also find the links to my socials in the description below. Leave a comment with your thoughts, and while you're at it, you can click or tap on these cards right here. They'll take you to my review of The Equalizer 3, or just over to my channel where you can check out my reviews, my shorts, and my old shit. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time for my review of It Lives Inside.